Good morning, good morning. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day in this land of work and joy, our beautiful country, Zambia. I want to begin by saying thank you to each and every person showing their love and support on this YouTube channel. Our goal is to hit over 1,000 subscribers by the beginning of next month. So with your love and support, I'm sure we'll be able to do that. I've got another interesting and exciting video today, and I'm pretty sure that you're gonna enjoy this video. I know way back, or should I say old school, I remember growing up in my father's house. I would see my dad come back from work with a newspaper or something like that. We don't get to see that often, but I encourage you, if you can, once in a while, buy yourself that newspaper. There's news there every day, you know. So today, the Daily Nation newspaper had a headline which reads, ECL family in distress as Esther delivers emotional tribute to late husband. I encourage you, go grab that paper today so you read the rest of the information. But the summary of what is being said under that headline is that, so she said, her late former President Lungu served as a father to the nation, a leader to the Zambian people, and a friend to many across the world. The former First Lady, Esther Lungu, has paid glowing and emotional tribute to her husband, former President Edgar Lungu, describing him as a leader who governed Zambia with love, diligence, and dedication. Mrs. Lungu has called on Zambians to believe in peace and love because they are the values that surpasses all human understanding. Mrs. Lungu delivered her tribute yesterday during a remembrance church service held in honor of her late husband, former President Lungu, at the Praise Christian Center. In a tribute read on her behalf by Patriotic Front National Chairperson Jean Kapata, Mrs. Lungu said her husband served the nation with dignity, dedication, and love. So to read the rest of the story, you need to go get yourself that newspaper, which is the Daily Nation newspaper, yeah? That's where we got that extract from. So before we get into the rest of today's video, I just wanted to make mention or highlight something about the beauty of our Zambian nation, the country of Zambia. One thing I love about us is that despite all the differences that we might have regarding the opinions, regarding the events happening in our country, you can still see that we are still enjoying the peace, we are still enjoying the harmony in our nation. And that's one thing I always love about Zambia. So without further ado, let's get into today's video.
Zambian President Edgar Lungu's body continues 10 months after his death. The Zambian government this week said it had taken possession of the body, but the High Court ordered for the body to be returned. Now, it follows a long-standing feud between Lungu and his successor, President Hakainde Hichilema. Lungu family spokesperson Makebi Zulu joins us now for more. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Zulu. Talk to us about where the matter is right now, because the understanding was that the family had not succeeded in overturning the ruling of the Pretoria High Court, even the petition of a higher court as well. So at what point then do we get to a point where the family runs to the court on an extreme basis and then makes an application to have the body returned?
And right now, the matter is in the Supreme Court of Appeal. Last week, we woke up to a myriad of events that were occurring where the Zambian government showed up at the undertaker's parlor, stating that they had come to get the body on the basis that the petition had lapsed. stating that when we ought to have filed particular documents we hadn't filed, and that the registrar had communicated to them that the matter had lapsed. And on that basis, obviously our lawyers were alert and they went to court, knowing very well that all the documentation was in place, everything was in place, and we wondered what exactly had gone wrong. And the lawyers put up an application. They had to go back to the High Court, and the High Court gave an order that the body be returned immediately to Two Mountains or any other pala that the family would designate. In that particular case, we were hopeful that that could be done almost immediately. But alas, to our dismay, the body was not returned as was ordered by the court, and we did not know the whereabouts of the body until the very next day, when we got to find out that the body had been taken to the forensic pathology services, that's in Pretoria. And unbeknown to the family, in the absence of the family, we got to know that the South African Police Service had a postmortem conducted over the body of the former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, which in our view is very much illegal. Illegal in that
before we get to the issue of the post-mortem result, I want us to just circle a bit back for a moment. The issue around the communication with the registrar from the High Court, did the other party give you that communication, or even give the operators of the funeral parlor that, well, the petition or the time frame that you had to appeal this matter had lapsed and you had not filed your papers? This is the communication that we have from the registrar.
The communication that was given to the pala was merely the order of the court of the 8th of August, stating that the appeal had lapsed and they were executing that particular order. But if you look at the order that they purported to execute, the order couldn't have been executed in the absence of the family, in the absence of the former president's ADC, and in the absence of the doctor. Those were the conditions that were set out in that particular order. Instead, an official from the embassy who was there at the pala and was also there at the forensic pathology service had ignored all these protocols that had been set up by the court, which is why the family is saying everything that happened was an illegality. And the order has since asked the parties involved, SAPS, the Zambian government, everyone that was involved in that particular matter, to show cause why they should not be cited for contempt of court, for the illegal movement of the body. And over and above that, we are moving to deal with the issue of the illegal carrying out of a postmortem over the body of the former president.
Yeah.
In a matter that is still pending before court.
Yeah, and the postmortem that was conducted post the removal of the body, was that part of the original order that they had obtained last year?
It certainly wasn't part of the original order that was obtained last year. It was never part of that order. Unfortunately, we have seen quite a lot of play on the part of the Zambian government, and at this point, we are saying with connivance from some officials from the South African police through some private investigator that was engaged by the Zambian government in this particular matter. There's a matter in the Randburg court, the magistrate's court, for an inquest. And last time we checked, there was an application that was made by the prosecutor to conduct a postmortem on the body. And the issue before the court was whether or not the magistrate court, could issue an order that would supersede the order of the High Court, which said that the body should be preserved in a particular manner and no one was to have access to the body in the absence of the family members. The magistrate obviously did show concern that the magistrate was not in a position to give an order that was going to supersede that of the higher court, and gave the parties time to submit and make their legal arguments known and get back to court on the 29th of May. So they were to go back on the 29th of May for the determination as to whether or not they could have an order to proceed to carry out a postmortem. But in this particular case, all that happened was we saw the government defy the order of the 8th, and in the absence of any order of any court, take the body away. In the absence of any family member, conduct a postmortem on the body. Even when we went and served an order on the forensic pathology services, they refused to release the body until late in the night, close to about 11 o'clock in the evenings when the body was released. And that was after making calls to senior officers in the police and their legal advisors, who advised them that they had to obey that particular court order. It's been a traumatic process for the family, and the family wonders whether they'll have any justice when the police are acting in such a blatant manner. In the first place, we had the Attorney General of Zambia saying that they had possession of the body, and just today, the Zambian Attorney General is saying no. We really had physical custody. It's the South African government that had custody of the body. So we don't know who's playing who or who's fooling who in this particular case. But what we know is that all the events that have happened in last 1 week have been full of illegalities, and the family will seek justice.
I mean, this is a protracted matter, and now the court is asking the parties to show cause as to why they shouldn't be held in contempt of court. Are there any talks to try and settle this out of court? Do you think it'll get to that point where this matter is laid to rest?
Well, there had been talks prior to all this, but talks are supposed to be built on trust. And at any given point, the government of the Republic of Zambia has indeed broken that trust. If you may be interested to know, this particular matter, as well as the inquest itself, is based on an illegality, it's based on a fraud, it's based on a lie. In that the Star newspaper had an article that was issued where they stated that one of the daughter or a relative to the deceased had reported a matter to the police that the deceased had been poisoned, a matter which is a lie. That particular article was paid for by the Zambian embassy. It is a paid for article in the Star newspaper. And based on that fake article, the Zambian government hired a private investigator in the name of Mr. Sibindi, who works closely with a South African police lady, Sergeant Ngwenya, and they start carrying out this supposed investigation into what they said the poisoning of the former president. The facts are well known to them. They've been to the hospital where he was. They've had access to the records at the hospital where he was. But this has been an issue of accessing the body of the former president.
Yeah.
What is curious is that even as they're carrying out this particular inquest, they are also asking for a DNA test. Why would you be asking for a DNA test of the deceased compared to the daughter whom they accused of having said that the former president had been poisoned? Our lawyers did ask South African police to say, give us the evidence where a family member did say that he was poisoned. The video that they produced was one where Tassila was only announcing the death of President Lungu. Nothing more was said beyond that. And they want to rely on that to say she had said anything to do with him having been poisoned, when in fact not.
Mr.
This is an embarrassment.
Yeah. Mr. Zulu, unfortunately,
Yes,
we've run out of time, and I want to just figure out before we quickly dash off whether or not there are any concerns relating to where the body is now being kept. Do you think it's in a secure environment where nobody can access it without, of course, the presence of the family?
We have since secured the body, as I did tell you, that we only managed to secure the body around 11 p.m. the other day, and we have since taken it to a secure place, and looking forward to other processes and examinations to ensure that what was done was correct, and also to have our own opinion as regards what could possibly have been what the state may have been interested in as regards the body. That is where we are right now.
All right, Makebi Zulu is the spokesperson of the Lungu family, talking to us about where the matter relating to the Zambian government as well as the Lungu family is in relation to that protracted legal battle. We'll certainly get a right of reply, or give a right of reply to the Zambian government and, of course, those that were mentioned in this particular interview. Let's take.
All right, so like you can see from that video, Makebi Zulu confirming that they have finally secured the body of our former late President Edgar Chagwa Lungu. That means the family now has the body, they have the body in custody. So now we're going to wait and see what's going to happen now that the family has the body, because it's an issue of us hoping for the best, that as they have the body, that finally things are going to happen in terms of the way forward. One thing beautiful about our country is that we have a way of sorting out our differences without violence. And that's one thing I would recommend Zambians. And it's my prayer that as we continue on this path, on this journey, regarding what should happen to the remains of our former president, let's continue in peace. I have been seeing a couple of some social media, people or whatever, expressing their emotions in a tone which is, it's even hard to talk about it. But I think the best way we need to do is speak about this calmly. Let's not get too emotional and all that stuff. But anyway, I'll end here for now. Thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. Please subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. Peace.